Hello guys, I'm Ian and I'm coming to help you get your Note 7 in the UK. So Note 7 is coming to the UK, it's coming around September 2nd. Pre-orders are now open in many of the retailers. So if you want to get your Note 7 for September 2nd, you want to be quick. But what this video is going to do is help you see which is the best contract to get, or which is the best way to get the Note 7. So the Note 7 currently through Samsung is about £739. And from Carphone Warehouse at £699 up front. That just gets you an unlocked phone. You can pop your SIM card in, you can do whatever you want with that phone. That phone's yours. If you're more likely, you probably go for buying for a contract. So I have got some of the better deals, or I've got some of the entry-level deals and some of the higher-end deals for each of the big providers. I'll go through them with you now. I also have a big spreadsheet of all the big providers and some little ones down in the description below. You can download that. It's about 110 contracts to go through. What that has in is that it has all the minutes, text and data, the prices, upfront costs, and how much it costs over the lifetime of contracts, which is really handy. That will be correct this day of uploading, so after this day prices may be different, and after pre-ordered prices may be different, but from today that's what it is. So I'm going to get straight into this. I'm going to start with O1's favourite Kerry Bacon adverts, EE. EE have currently got some great deals on, especially if you're wanting to watch some BT Sport. So if you want to get ready for the football, or the football's already started, you can watch BT Sport for 6 months on all their new phones. And I think some of their existing plans. That's really cool and really handy. The downsides to them is that the prices will go up every March. A couple of these companies will do that, so check on the company's website to make sure they don't increase every month. Every March due to the RPI, and then including you've got VAT on a lot of EE contracts on top. As well as EE, you need to check on the limited 4G. So a lot of times EE will catch you out on some stuff, but if you go into them and ask for kind of the best deal, you're probably going to come up with probably what you want. But their starting price range is about $48.49 on the website, and that includes 2 GB data, unlimited text, and 1,000 minutes. So it's $48.49 with £100 up front, and that comes up to about £1,260 over the 2 years. So that's kind of starting base price for E. And their highest base plan is for 40 GB. You're looking at around £71 a month for that one, and then £29.99 up front, and you're looking at around £1,730 over the lifetime of the contract for that. So that is quite a bit of money. But if you like EE, if you get good EE service with EE in your network or in your area, that might be a way to go. Let's go straight on to Free. So Free is the biggest one for kind of a lot of people who like data, as they're one of the biggest parts is they have something called all you can eat data, which is basically all you can eat data. They'll try and chuck data as much at you as you can. If you think the limit is super high. There is a limit, but it is unbelievably high. So you can check that, but I've never gone over my all you can eat data, and I use a lot of data. But they have 2 style of contracts there. So they've got their essential plans, which doesn't have personal hotspot allowed, and doesn't have something called Feel at Home, which is their roaming networking deal where you can go over different countries. I think it's 19 separate countries. And you can use your text messages and data as you would in the UK over there. It's worry-free, it's really nice and handy. I've used it many times. I'm about to actually use it next week when I'm going to France to watch ice hockey, so I'm looking forward to being able to snap some great photos and put them on social media. But back onto the contracts. So their essential plan starts at £35 a month, with £150 up front, making a total of about £990. That's shy of £1,000, which is over the 2 years. But you don't get personal hotspot, and you don't get your roaming outside the UK. And that includes 1 GB of data, and there's no limits on your text or minutes, so that's kind of handy. If you are wanting some personal hotspot and you are wanting to go abroad and use a Feel at Home, their base plan for that one is again with 1 gig, but with 600 minutes on no limit on texts, and that starts at £42 a month with £99 up front, making a total of about £1,110. Again, all the prices will pop up on the screen on probably this side, hopefully, or this side, 1 or 2, whichever they decide to put on. But again, down in the description if you want to find all these prices as well. And the top plan is where they have no limit on the data and no limits on actually any of that. and it's £56 a month with £99 up front, which is a total of £1,445, right? Which is really handy if you are a big data lover and you're scared of like hitting limits. This is probably one to go for. Next one, I'm going to go straight to a bit of an underdog here, Tesco Mobile. Everyone's favourite kind of a girl next door, Tesco Mobile, slowly going up the ranks. They do have some handy features like capping your contracts and your club card points, as well as kind of every way you can kind of get there. They're starting around £42 a month with no upfront cost. That's with 1,000 minutes, 5,000 texts, and a 1 gigabyte internet. And that's just over £1,000 over 2 years. So that's £1,008 if I'm right. And the higher limit one, higher data one is 5,000 minutes, 5,000 texts, and 20 gigabyte of data, which is a total of £63 a month, and that's about £1,512. They've got some also handy features like the anytime upgrade, meaning that you can pay off the phone halfway through the contract and upgrade early, which is a handy feature if you want to get the newest phones kind of earlier on. They do use as well for O2 network, so if you've got good O2 signal, you may be all right to go for them as well. Talking about O2, let's jump onto O2. Their smallest deal, it starts at 1 gigabyte of data with no limits on the text or minutes, and that's £50 a month with £9.99 up front, and that's a total of £1,209 over 2 years. There may be cheaper deals if you're upgrading, or there may be cheaper deals after the day if they've changed the deals after this video. This is kind of a generalised part, but O2 also increase their bills due to the RPI increase every March as well, so that's also one thing to look at. And the highest one is 30 gigabyte, where that's £62 a month, and that's with £119 up front. 30 gigabyte is a lot of data. Again, so you shouldn't be worried about hitting the limits unless you're like hitting the Netflix, hitting the Spotify, watching like everything on YouTube. You shouldn't be massively worried, and that's roughly around £1,600 over 2 years. The next one to go for is Vodafone. So Vodafone, they do both 12-month and 24-month contracts, which is really handy. I'll get more into 12-month, how I'm loving the 12-month contracts for Vodafone at the moment. But the 24-month ones are quite pricey, I would say. So they start at 500 megabytes of data and 500 minutes with no limit on their texts. That's £37 a month, and that's £400 up front. That's making it for 500 megabytes of data. That's half a gig. You're looking at £1,280 over 2 years, which is a massive amount, what I would say. I wouldn't go for that one. I think they've got better deals with more data. And the higher limit on one of the 2-year contract is 30 gigabyte, same like O2. That's £68 a month, £20 up front. It's about £1,652 overall. Now this is where probably kind of the better part comes on. For a 12-month contract, 12-month contracts, really good value for money, I would say, unless I've calculated them really wrong. But the Vodafone one, they start at 1 gig on a 12-month contract, so no limits on my text or minutes. And that's £52 a month with £330 up front. Now that might sound expensive, but over a year, instead of 2 years, you're paying only £954 for that, making that kind of the cheapest contract you can find. And then the higher usage one is actually 30 gigabytes with no limit on text and data, and you're paying £78 a month for that, with £225 up. Again, that is quite a high price, but over the year you're only paying £1,161 exactly for that, and you're also getting free Gear VR with them, as well as some other companies giving away the new Gear VR, and you're also getting 12-month subscription to Spotify Premium, if I'm correct, or you got a choice of Spotify Premium, Sky Sports, or Now TV Entertainment, which is really nice. And so 12 months is worth around about £100 of Spotify Premium, so that brings the price down a bit as well. Which I'm going to say is probably one of some of the better value deals at the moment. If you want to jump over to Carphone Warehouse, so Carphone Warehouse sell O2, EE, ID, which is their own network or their own kind of brand, and Vodafone. Their kind of base contract is with Carphone Warehouse Vodafone is 1 gigabyte and no limits on the text and minutes of data. It's £37 a month, and it's £99 up front, making a total of about £990. That's with a free Gear VR. So you also it's quite handy. That's cheaper than what their Vodafone's directly 24-month contract is. So again, if you're wanting to go for a 24-month contract with Vodafone, check Carphone Warehouse out first. Their most expensive plan is £65 a month. That's with 20 gig of O2. and that is £65 with £30 up front, and that's a total of around £1,590 if my mathematics is correct. And they also get free Gear VR on that one. So that is kind of what you're going to be looking at. You do have some really handy features with some networks, but again, it's also down to what you can get in your signal area. So if you can get a really good deal with Vodafone, but you can't get any signal in your area, don't go for them. To go for someone who's got signal. There's no point paying for a service which you can't get. But again, there is a lot of these companies are free, and Vodafone have got EU packages as well to help you out if you're going abroad. O2 have got a handy feature of upgrading 12 months early, as well as Tesco Mobile, and then EE got BT Sport included for 6 months, which is really handy. One other thing I would also have a look at is it's going straight to Samsung. You can get them under the Samsung upgrade program, which I actually have up here. You're going to be paying about £31 a month, and over 2 years you're going to be paying roughly £839. But if I'm correct with that, after 12 months you can upgrade from the latest. You just give in the phone, as long as the phone's in good working order, and you get the next Galaxy or next Note 7. Anyway, thank you for watching this. If you are getting a Note 7 and you want to look and get some cases, my brother has also in the channel has also done some Note 7 with case reviews or some first looks, so I'll put them down in the description. Have a check out of them. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there.